Hello everyone, welcome to my 10th video on my channel. We made it to 10 videos so far. I am Johnny the Horror Hack. First and foremost, just wanted to say thank you so much for coming by, watching this video, giving it a thumbs up, and hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm stoked to share with you my review of It Chapter 2. Now, I went to a really cool theater in downtown Los Angeles called the Alamo Drafthouse. They have locations all over the country, so I was really excited when they announced that the Alamo Drafthouse was opening in downtown Los Angeles. I was excited. I saw there was an It Chapter 2 screening, and I had to go see it. It's a theater dedicated to classic cinema. They have awesome food, a great selection of craft beer, and just some really cool events there all the time. All right, Pennywise lovers, let's get into my review of It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 is directed by Andy Muschietti, who also directed It in 2017. The screenplay was written by Gary Dauberman, who, in my opinion, has been doing some really big horror hits lately. He wrote all the Annabelle movies, It from 2017, The Nun, and also Swamp Thing TV series, the newest one. With a great director like Muschietti, Dauberman's writing chops, and an awesome cast like Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy, and Bill Skarsgård returning as Pennywise, you know you're in for a treat. Now the storyline goes something like this. The down but not out Pennywise the Dancing Clown comes back to Derry, Maine 27 years later after getting his ass kicked by the Losers Club in the first film. All members of the Losers Club, all the kids, made a pact in the 2017 It movie that they would return to Derry if evil Pennywise came back. Well, one member, Mike Hanlon, stayed in Derry the entire time, and when he realized that Pennywise came back, he had to be the one to call each and every one of his friends to tell them, you guys need to get here now. So we have the Losers Club as adults back in Derry, and once again have to conquer their deepest fears, try to defeat the impossible evil that is the fear-hungry, shape-shifting Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Now that you have a general overview of what this movie is, let's talk about what I liked about it. A big like for me would have to be the casting of the adult characters. I truly believe that each of those kids in the first film grew up to be this adult cast in It Chapter 2. My favorites were Bill Hader as Richie, James Ransone as Eddie, and Jessica Chastain as Beverly. The banter between Richie and Eddie was gold, and it was even better when they were kids in the first one. The chemistry of all these characters just felt real. Instant. Now there's a scene where they all meet at this Chinese restaurant when they're all summoned back to Derry from Mike just to talk and go over things. This whole scene showcased how much they care for one another and that their bond was just never broken even 27 years after being apart. Another thing I liked is the general storyline. The way they would flash back and intertwine their journeys as adults with their younger selves was interesting. I liked how we got to see some scenes that happened to them as kids that we didn't get to see in It Chapter 1. And of course, let's get into Pennywise, played by Bill Skarsgård. Just the idea of Pennywise the Dancing Clown is so cool. Can I get an amen on that? Whatever, dude. And I know I'll get hate for this, but I'm a Skarsgård fan over Curry as Pennywise. And that's a bold statement for how good Tim Curry was in the original It. I mean, he's the OG. And I almost always go for classic versus modern, but there was just something about Skarsgård take as Pennywise that I just liked a little bit more than Curry's role. It's the way that Skarsgård speaks in the movie. Like, he utilizes that serious guttural tone and then he switches it up and goes to that goofy, chuckle-like voice that's just as eerie. It's his eyes, too. I think one of the tricks Pennywise uses to lure his prey in is using that lazy eye he has. You know what I'm talking about. Skarsgård has that lazy eye that he can freakishly move it around on command. And it was not digitally done in the movie. Check this out.
I wanted to give Pennywise a walled eye, because in my vision of the character, sometimes his eye would fall off and something that was very cute and sweet turns into something much more unsettling because he has that weird balance. So when I mentioned that I wanted to do that digitally, he said, I can do it.
I had kind of a lazy eye and I can like make it go.
So I just figured Pennywise uses that lazy eye as some sort of distraction, you know, to confuse the kids, lure them in, and just jump at them and rip their face off when the time is right. This is so stupid. But Pennywise would be like, hello, Georgie. And Georgie is all like, me or is Mr.? Oh, my acting is terrible. Now that we've gone over my likes and some extremely bad acting, let's get into some dislikes about It Chapter 2. The first one is more of a personal confusion than a dislike. For those of you that have read Stephen King's novel It, we know that it fell to Earth from outside of the universe, possibly centuries ago. I didn't feel like It Chapter 2 laid out very clear the true origin of it like the book did. However, I think if I just watched the movie again, I'd have a better understanding of it all. And I didn't like how it played out on screen. It came across a little bizarre, not very cool, if that makes any sense at all. I think maybe in my imagination, I saw it way different. Like I just said, I would love to watch this movie again. There's always things I miss in the first viewing, so I think maybe after I watch it a second time, I'll have a better understanding of it. Just don't at me, okay? Unless it's something nice. Another thing I wasn't completely sold on was the CGI. I know that Pennywise is this shape-shifting evil being, so there's plenty of opportunity to showcase all the forms that he can take on. And there were some really badass forms that it takes on, especially towards the end of the film. However, as cool as the CGI is in It Chapter 2, my personal taste is to go more practical effects. I get it though, this is a huge movie in horror with a budget to create some amazing monsters that it can take shape of. All I'm saying is the most terrifying form that it can take is Pennywise the Dancing Clown with minimal CGI. Poking that gigantic melon of his from outside of the shadows, using that sinister smile he does in that goofy voice is all I need. In my opinion, Pennywise is more chilling and intimidating in simple form. And my final thoughts on the film are this. It Chapter 2 may go a few beats too long, but you care so much about the characters and their journey. The CGI used in this film, while effective and pretty cool, just didn't do a whole lot for me. Like I just said, I love the idea of a more bare bones Pennywise, and letting Skarsgård invoke fear into the characters and audience by simply being the human form of Pennywise the Dancing Clown. The constant wit, banter, funny one-liners set this film up to be more of a fun thriller and less of a horror movie. In my opinion, It Chapter 1 was the better film all around, but It Chapter 2 is a really fun ride, and I think you should go see it. Hey, thanks again for stopping by and watching my review of It Chapter 2. My 10th video is about to be done. I hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and comment in the comment section about what you liked about this video and the movie itself if you've already seen it. And let's be friends to the end, people. You know you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @TheHorrorHack. Once again, I am Johnny the Horror Hack, and this has been one hack of a show.